Okay, so now we have a little bit of time that we're going to dedicate to bank code, which is what Michelle and I do, and some other people, but right now it's Michelle and I. And Kathy's here with us. You get to listen. Kathy, you're last but not least. And so my newest venture is with Kathy. We're going to talk about gold. If you like gold, wait for Kathy. We're not done. Right now, if you like the bank, which I do, and the bank codes and the code breakers, that is with Michelle. So with that, we'll put you on speaker, Michelle. Oh, and you could, Michelle, can you say something so you can come
I
up?
am here.
There you go. It'll shift over. Perfect.
All right.
I just completed my level 5 coaching with Bank recently. Michelle knows more about bank code, but I'm going to tell you. Oh, where's my cards? How come I don't have them ready? But I'm also going to, thank you, Michelle. I'm going to let Michelle show them to you. And in the meantime, I'm going to put my crack your code link. I'll put it above where I'm live streaming. I'm also going to place it into the chat. Okay, so Michelle, if you could start telling us a little about it, because Michelle and I have a similar code.
We sure do. Every single human in the world has a code, and it's made up of these 4 little magical value cards. So, what I'm going to tell you, because I loved Rhonda and how she talked about the why. So, why do I do what I do? The reason why is because I was struggling trying to build a business. I had a child I couldn't communicate to at all. As a single mom, relationships were a challenge. I spent a lot of time arguing, fighting. I didn't even have a relationship with my mom and dad. So I fell into these magical cards by accident. And I came into it because I wanted to increase my sales, because that's what I saw Sherry speak on. Sherry Tree, the one who created it. And it's the only methodology in the world that can predict buying behavior in less than 90 seconds. And I wanted to make more money. I didn't have a lot of it because I lost my job of 28 years and I was trying to build something with nothing. So I fell into this and didn't know what to expect. And what I found out was, wow, was I blowing it? I was blowing it as a mom. I was blowing it as an entrepreneur, and I was blowing it as a salesperson. I was actually blowing it as a human being. Because let's face it, we could all do better. These little cards have values on them. And every single human has a bank code. We call it BANK because it's reverse engineered personality science. And BANK is an acronym for the 4 personality types. Unlike the other assessments you may take, this one is not based on psychology, which is why it works. It's based on biology, BUiology. Why do people buy, and why do they buy into you? This actually unlocks their human communication style. And you can dance and shift in them. But let's talk about each one of them, right? Blueprint is blue for a reason. They're colder to approach. Think of them as inside the box. They want things like systems, processes, predictability, stability. They follow the rules. They need a step-by-step plan. They're very organized. They show up 15 to 20 minutes early for a meeting. Think of those people you know. Then we have the actions. They blew up the box of the movers and shakers of the millionaire makers. Woo, woo, woo. Who are my action people out there? Give me a high five, a head nod. What's up, my friends? They want fun and freedom and flexibility and spontaneity and action. They go 100 miles an hour. They drive fast. They talk fast. They act fast. They make decisions fast. Can you see how they're a little different than that blueprint? Yeah. So can you see how does it make sense to go in speaking blueprint if that person is action? Have them upside down. Then we have the nurturing. They recycled the box. Yellow, like sunshine, rainbows. They value teamwork, authenticity, personal growth, relationships, the love. They want to feel the love. And then the knowledge. The knowledge is like, without me, you wouldn't even have a box. I engineered it. Science, data, research, logic, it's got to make sense. So when you look at all 4 of these codes, There's actually 24 different positions that these cards can show up in, which is why people say sales is a numbers game, because mathematically it is. However, if you can unlock the secret in the code, it's not a numbers game. It's about people. It's about building relationships, authentic relationships, and respecting how people show up and what language they need to hear. It's based on their values. Me and Marianne have the same bank code. Go figure, right? When your bank code's aligned, you automatically click. You're
How
like,
did
oh my
we
God.
both join bank? Let's tell them how many minutes it took us to join bank. Oh,
Like,
here's my credit card.
right? We're like, that's it here. And we didn't just go in at level 1 or just, we're like full blown, give me the package. I want it all. We think big, we buy big, we act big, and we act fast.
We outdo our credit cards because we know that we're going to be okay. Not because we're stupid and we like getting into debt. We don't sit there, hey, Michelle, let's get into debt today. Oh, it's a part of being an entrepreneur, isn't it? Come
Well,
on.
absolutely. And there's good debt and there's bad debt.
If you're an entrepreneur and if you're not in some little bit of debt, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Why aren't you moving forward? Like it's just, and it's good debt, right? There's good debt and bad debt. Like a mortgage is good, right? Like, I mean, your house is going to appreciate, right? Gold will appreciate.
Yeah.
You're
Personal
using
development.
products, but they're going to make you happy.
Yeah. And personal development, you got to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying.
That's right. Personal development, if you can't even say it, is the best. I have spent probably the most amount of energy and money and travel and everything. In fact, I would say that roughly most of my travel has revolved around some sort of personal development, seminar or reason or client meeting or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you can get results in half the time and you can build relationships with everyone around you, it's a no-brainer. We provide the tools, the training, and a step-by-step proven system to get people results fast. And not by changing who they are, because that's a question we get a lot, right? I don't want to change who I am. You're not. Think of these all speaking different languages. So if you went into a room filled with people who speak English, if you speak English, the odds of you connecting and communicating are really good. But if you go into a room and they speak French, but you can only speak English, don't you find it kind of silly to go into that room and try to communicate with someone who doesn't speak your language? Well, that's exactly what you're doing when you're not speaking to someone's values and their code. So it's like you're the peanuts teacher. Wah, 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 wah. That's all they hear. Right? So B.A.N.K was built to increase your sales up to 300% by giving you the ability to speak the language of the people.
These are plastic. I didn't join just because these look like credit cards and that's my favorite thing. That's not the reason I joined. I joined because these 4 pretty little cards make me psychic. They give me superpowers. They give me peace of mind, which is really hard to buy. Peace of mind does not come in a blue box at Tiffany. It does not come in any kind of box or a bag or in a flower. You have to work for it. But this gave me a deal that I'm going to tell you I did so fast. My head was spinning. I had a client that was a complete blueprint. So I'm going to tell you, when I first started this back in May, I had I had done an assessment. So this was my code. So A.N.K, which is what Michelle is. So this is what I came up with. And then we did an advanced version, and then this kind of came up. So these two are pretty much the same. They're like one number apart. And then these two are the same. In fact, I don't even think they're one number apart. I think they're exactly the same. They could be 17 now and 18. I'm not sure about this one. I think it's 17 and 17. And so I came along and I'm like, yep, yep, I can see this. Yep, I can even see a little bit of this. And then I got to this and I'm like, yeah, I don't see anything here. I don't think I have this. Flip it. And they're like, no, you have it. And I'm like, rules. I don't do rules. Credentials. Okay. I'm a doctor of metaphysics. I'm a reverend of metaphysics. Okay. I'm a reverend and a doctor. Who cares what of? I don't even have that on here. So I don't even care about credentials. Predictability. Yeah. Okay. System, structure, stability. Okay. Stability is a good thing. Responsibility. I am very responsible. I take full responsibility for my stuff, what I do, so on and so forth. But the rest of this, duties, rules, titles, tradition. I'm an Aquarius. I don't tradition anything. I barely know what it is. And quite frankly, I'm allergic to Excel spreadsheets, which any of my previous employers will understand and know and agree with. So this was barely, I'm gonna say, I think it was a 7. I'm not really sure, 7 or 8. Who cares? It's so low. Same thing with this one. This might have been like an 11. And then these were right up there, 20, 21, 20, 22. This one's 22. This one's 21, I think, out of 25. So you're always aiming for 25. It could be a little more now. So I figure I'm this when I'm coaching, because I do a lot of coaching and, I want to have a nonprofit. Like, this is where this comes from. Yeah, this is my crazy self. I want to do a summit every month. I'm going to do a summit every month because I'm nuts and I don't have enough stuff to do. So let's get more. Yes, I like designer stuff. No, I'm not going to spend that much on it anymore. Whoa, what happened to me? Somebody Excel spreadsheeted me. No, I don't like Excel spreadsheets still, but I do like security. There is a side of me who likes security, and I do envy and not envy, sorry, I respect responsibility. So I have learned to respect the need for an Excel spreadsheet, even though I don't understand it, but sure. But I don't have to do one. Okay, so as long as you don't expect me to do one, but I will respect you and your desires and your wishes. So I ended up having a conversation, an hour-and-a-half conversation with a potential client on the phone that was this, and maybe a little of this. And within an hour and a half, we've never even met, he decided to give me his listing. Okay, I take the listing, I sell the property in less than 2 days. And we close it in 2 weeks. Like, barely, the lawyer was like barely had enough time to do his business. And I'm like, I love this. This makes me psychic. This gives me superpowers. This makes me a better salesperson. And this makes me a better friend and a better everything. This makes me a better person, period. If you think you could benefit from these, please connect with me. If you think you can't benefit from these, then you really, really need them.
Good point.
Just saying. If your ego's that big and you think you know everything. I've been coaching for over 40 years. I'm going to be 63 years old in a couple of weeks. I've been doing a lot of everything for a long, long time, and I am constantly taking courses nonstop. So if your ego is that big, you really need some of this, then you really need to call me. And so much fun, because now when my nurture needs more of my attention than I typically give, at least I understand where it's coming from. I may not have a lot of time to give them that much attention, but I will at least understand and maybe, apologize for not having more time for them. Just to help them out, not because, this, that, or the other. Yeah, technology. I would really like to know some technology. I would be really willing to grow this one a little more. Not this one too, but this one. This one's all about technology, right, Michelle?
Well, it's all about learning, technology, science, data, research, logic. It's got to make sense. The knowledge and the blueprint are more our head codes, right? And the action and the nurturing They make decisions based on how they feel, their heart, their emotions, their emotional codes.
Mhm.
But
I overthink things too. I know how to overthink things too.
yeah,
But
well, and that is your stress code. So, you know,
here's my stress code. So if okay, I don't ask questions. I don't, how much time did it take? Okay, we were talking in Maryland. We were maybe 10 minutes, not even. I was signed up. Here's my credit card. This is for a $25,000. This is in US dollars. I'm Canadian. So for me, that's like 30 something already. And I'm like, oh, you have a payment plan? Yeah, let me take that because that'll be a little easier to process, and that's like, that's great. And I don't know what I was going to say. See, it's all gone
well,
now.
Marianne, I just want to say, so Marianne became a certified trainer. So she is able to train. She has coaching programs. She has technology where you can actually decode someone's LinkedIn profile. You can get a sales report all about them. You can even get like communication tips on if you wanted to recruit them or if you wanted to negotiate with them or if they were in stress, what would be the way best to communicate with them.
Mhm.
She has tools like a decoder where you can decode your social media. I know a lot of people are using Chat GPT right now. And guess what? Might not be speaking to your ideal audience. And you wouldn't know that unless you used our decoder and found out who exactly it was hitting. And how can you make that more impactful? We even have our little Kai chatbot, who is bank infused Chat GPT, which is mind blowing. So we take everything, we put it on steroids, we wrap it up in a nice little package and provide you everything you need to get results in half the time, grow your business faster, and well, finally understand your family, friends, and people who drive you a little nuts.
Just a little. And you know what? There's a course, one of them in there is called speed coding. Speed coding is basically becoming intuitive in the most grounded possible way. And I am pretty intuitive. And I do a lot of intuitive things, and I help other people become more intuitive. But this was extra on top of that. It was such a pleasure learning this. It was like, wow, so I can decode people real quick and see, okay, I better use the word processes and systems and Excel spreadsheets, and then I better use now. So the green, yeah, I like some science. The universal truths, I like that kind of stuff. Expertise, competence, accuracy, the big picture. This is probably my favorite thing on here. Logic, not so much. Self-mastery, yes. Yes. Technology, working on it. I have what I have now. Learning, this ongoing learning and intelligence, I have a huge respect for that. But I do know that now these two need to move a little slower. So when I'm selling, because these have helped me become a better salesperson, right? These people need a little extra time, frequently a little extra or a lot. Okay, a lot extra, a lot of extra information, somewhat extra information. Okay, 5 minutes and we're done. A little extra,
Love.
higher purpose, like the community has to benefit from this. The overall big picture has to, it's like if we can link your business to a non-for-profit, which I like. This is exactly what so I do have a lot of that. Sign up for things fast, 5 minutes, 10, if it has to be 10 whole minutes, and waste my time here. you know, this one I now have more patience for. That's all. In everything I do, in being a friend, I have a friend. Oh my gosh, she drives me insane, but I love her. We've been friends for a long time. Question after question after question after question, and never enough. And then after the question, she'll say, "Okay, let me go home and research this." And I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" But that's the way it is. So you know what? These are my magic cards. And by magic, I don't mean credit. However, the next segment will tell you how wonderful and magic gold is with credit cards. But anyways, did you want to say anything else, Michelle?
Well, I would say reach out to Marianne because she has some there's a masterclass coming up that's free that you are able to attend, that you will get massive value from. Because if you're talking to any human beings in the world, you're going to love what you learn because It's all about connecting with people, building relationships, and providing them the information they need so that they can say yes. Whether it's selling your spouse on where you want to go on vacation, your child how to eat why to eat broccoli over a cookie, or how to grow your team and get sales in half the time. Reach out to Marianne because she's fantastic.
Yes, I am. And so is Michelle.